Hello, good day. I am Vicky Angela D. Satumcacal together with my teammates Mr. Pugoy, Miss Cabalog, and Miss Magsayo. So for today, we will collect microorganisms from public places and we will grow them on homemade agar plates. So for this activity, we will use water, 1 beef broth cube, 1 sachet of gelatin powder, saucepan for boiling mixture, containers, spoon for mixing, and cotton swab for culturing microorganisms.
Pour the water into the saucepan together with the gelatin powder and mix thoroughly until the gelatin powder is dissolved. After that, put the saucepan on fire starting from low heat. Then add the beef cube starting with just 1/4 of the cube. If the water is already dark brown in color, use only 1/4 of the cube. Set the fire into high heat and stir continuously until it boils. After boiling, cool your new agar mixture slightly for 10 minutes. The mixture needs to be still hot to avoid the gelatin setting in the saucepan and to prevent contamination from bacteria in the air. After 10 minutes, take the lid off the container and half fill the container with the hot mixture. Put it in the fridge until the agar has set. Do not touch the agar or you will contaminate it with the bacteria from your fingers.
Okay, so now it's time to collect microorganisms. So I went to the 3K Threads Cafe and I chose their menu as my area for the collection of microorganisms. So I collected the microorganisms by streaking the cotton swab along with the menu. After that, I rubbed it lightly across the agar surface by using the streak plate method. So after streaking, I discarded the cotton swab and covered the container. So leave the container at room temperature for 3 to 5 days and wait for the result.
So now it's time to collect microorganisms. So I went to the public market and collected microorganisms through the public CR through streaking the cotton swab along the doorknob, and after that I lightly rub it across the agar surface by using the streak plate method, and after streaking, discard the cotton swab and cover the container and place them at a room temperature for 3 to 5 days.
So now it's time to collect microorganisms. So I did choose emergency room doorknob as my chosen area for the collection of the microorganisms. So by doing so, you need to streak the cotton swab on the doorknobs, and after it, put it on a container or a clean cellophane for it not to be contaminated by other bacteria around. And after that, when doing the streak plate method, you need to streak the cotton swab on the agar surface gently. And after it, discard the cotton swab, cover the container, and put it on a place where it will not be disturbed, and leave it for 3 to 5 days and wait for the results.
The area that I chose in collecting microorganisms is the nearest church from our home, which is Santa Teresita Parish Church. So what I did is I placed the container with the agar in a clean plastic bag, and then I went to the church and I just simply exposed the agar in the aisle of the church and waited for about 20 minutes. After that, I covered the container and placed it back in a clean plastic bag, and then I went home. So after I went home, I took out the container from the plastic bag, and then I just placed the container at room temperature, and then I waited for about 3 days.
So after 5 days, we can now see colonies of microorganisms visible on the agar surface. So it may be a bacterial colony or a fungal colony. So yeah, these are the microorganisms present in the cafe's menu. Thank you.
So after 3 days, as you can see, microorganisms are now growing on the agar surface.
So after 35 days, as what you have seen in the video, there are now microorganisms growing in the agar surface. So that's it. These are the microorganisms that we could possibly found rather in the doorknobs of the emergency room in Medina General Hospital.
It has been 3 days, and as you can see, microorganisms are now growing on the agar surface.